Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Monday, September 23rd. The year's 2024. Let's talk trading. Weekly, open, and gap. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And as always, as we start this week off, let's make sure we have our risk management in place and we don't lose any more on any one single trade than we are willing to lose. Taking a look at the weekly chart here, the dashboard shows that all the gaps have filled and the pound had gapped down, and we've, as I said, we filled that gap. Right now, it looks like we're in the upper wick zone of last week. And we're 14 pips above the weekly open, 6 off the high, and 78 off the low. So we've got some range happening today. Notice we hit the weekly pivot and bounced. So we're putting in the opening range for a week, which looks like it's going to be hefty. We're above the opening range for the month and way above the opening range for the year. Speaking of the year, we are 615 pips above the yearly open, 14 off that high, and 1,027 pips off the low. We had an inside bar 15 days ago. We're well above it. And as we take a look at the chart, we've got some inside bar action. And it looks like we have a lot more on the week than we do on the month, that's for sure. As I mentioned, 84 pips in range, and the yen pairs looks like they're the ones where we have most of the action. Also, looks like New Zealand pairs are joining in. The pound New Zealand at 104, the euro New Zealand at 150 in range. And the euro yen's no slacker. It's 215 pips of range right behind the beast or the pound yen at 217. The buy zone. We've been through the short zone or sell zone, and we're up through the buy zone right now. Once again, showing the strength of horizontal line placement, especially when you don't move them. Red rats, prepare to feast. As you can see, we're in that red rat zone at the moment. We've already had a price turn. Looks like we're working on a continuation trade. This big M15 candle, it looks like price needs to get back down to the open of this candle. That just seems the way that's just how it seems to work when you get these big candles. Price almost always returns to the open. You can see right here. And then from here to here, you've got a big imbalance. And then you've got another one from here to here. So looks like a lot of reasons for price to go down. But remember, price doesn't move in a straight line, so it might get close to this candle. Walmart likes to play the halfway point, and sometimes price will come down, bounce off that midpoint, and return. But we also have a nice red H4 candle at the moment. You can see here this one got covered, so who knows, maybe this one will get covered. Even though the coverage percentage is best on M30. And Bambino Flex indicator said long, so price got near the pivot, crashed it, but on the return would have paid off. Buy bias is long near S1. You can see here we crossed above S1. Price is well above it. And as mentioned, let me refresh that chart. We took out that daily. We took out the Friday pivot too. So leaves only one missed pivot, and that's right here for the month. Once again, I mentioned we were in the upper wick zone of the previous week. We're in the upper wick zone of the previous trading day. And as always, price doesn't like staying in that upper wick zone. So let's see if it comes out. For the weekly, 84 already. That's the lowest. It's at the 0 percentile. We did not go out of the, did not break out of the previous week's high nor the low. So right now, that weekly candle is an inside bar. High minus close 7, close minus low 77. And going across the open 19 to the upside, 65 to the downside. It's a simple price action chart returning the 30. You can see price came down to almost hit indicator 2. And then bounced back up. So once again, sometimes when you're trading and you're up 4 or 5 pips, but you have ideas on 10 pips or more, the next thing you know, you're down a couple of pips. It just depends on how you decide to trade. But sometimes it's better to take those little bites when they present themselves. And sure, you're going to wind up taking a 5 pip win. Had you stuck, it could have been 10 or more. But I'm sure those are a lot less frequent than the times when you would take that 5, and if you hadn't, you'd be looking at a loss. And the thing is, it doesn't have anything to do with the method. Because at any point in time, there's hundreds of methods telling traders to go long. Same for short. And there's some methods that are saying, you know what, this isn't a place to trade, so just wait. And that's something that I don't think many traders consider. You know, we're so focused on the pair that we're trading or the instrument that we're trading, and we're focused on that price, we're focused on our portfolio, really hyper laser type focus, as opposed to zooming out and thinking about all the other traders and what they're doing. Because what they do, believe it or not, can affect your outcome. And it looks like we are testing that H4 and H1 open. Right there, you can see these keep flashing. Now we've got green. We broke through the previous hour's high right here, just by a pip. Notice we put in a 3-ball here, and a lot of times 3 balls will extend another 10 pips, and then sometimes they'll be like the breaks. It's like when I'm trading and I'm using the semaphores, if I see a 1 ball in my way, that's when I start to take my profit. And sometimes I'm a little upset. The ones I'll ride is when it becomes a 2 ball. That's when I like to ride it. 1 ball's not so much. Especially if I only have a couple pips. I'd much rather get out of that trade than to take my chances when I see a 1 ball. It's like a stop. I should actually make these red because they're like stop signs for me. And looking at the higher high, lower low wick zones here on the M1, you can see we almost got into it, but not quite. And just remember, these are dynamic zones. I don't remember. I have to take a quick look here. We're looking at 60 bars worth. So 1 hour's worth of M1 bars to see where the lowest low and highest high is within that time frame. And as you can see here, price isn't moving much at the moment. I guess they're deciding what they want to do. Notice we've pushed the accumulated range last week to 1,041 pips. And a reminder, let's take a quick look at the week. Buyers strong control. Still above the moving average, the EMA 5. Lower high, higher low, already mentioned that. Inside bar at the moment. I'm trying to remember if there was any questions out there. I don't recall any from the last video. So I hope all the traders are trading well. And one thing, trading well doesn't mean you're winning all your trades. It means that at the end of the session that you followed your plan, win or lose. Trading well means following your plan, sticking to it. Which, once again, we're so focused on profit and loss, we forget to focus on the process. Because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.